Salesforce has announced that they plan to discontinue the ability to create new workflow rules, and there's an informational message here about encouraging users to go with Flow. And with the Flow Builder, you can do things with low-code automation. And one thing they're doing to help facilitate that process is they're creating migration tools to migrate your workflow rules over into flows. And so in this org, I've got two workflow rules, and one is on the opportunity object, one is on the project deliverables object. So you'll find under process automation a few things in beta now. There's the automation home screen, and that's where you can create new flows, as well as of right now, workflow rules, process builder as well. I'm not seeing the migration tool here, but you'll notice migrate to flow beta link here under process automation. This is in beta, it's not for general availability yet. And so what you can do is you can select the workflow rule that you wish to migrate to a flow. This is a bulleted list, so you can only do one of these at a time. And I'll be interested to see what happens if you have two workflow rules on an object. So I'm going to start off with this custom object that I have in this org called project deliverables. It is active workflow rule in my org. And so I'm going to select it and then migrate to flow. And so I'm getting shut down here. We can't migrate this workflow rule to a flow because its criteria contains a cross-object reference. Migrate to flow doesn't support this configuration. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to click on this particular workflow rule to look at it. And this is also looking up from the opportunity to the account as far as the conditions for this workflow rule. So I think I won't be able to migrate this one either. But let me go ahead and try. And as well, you cannot migrate this workflow rule because it contains a cross-object reference, and that would be going from opportunity looking up to account for part of my criteria. Now, whether or not this tool, this migration tool, will support that in the future remains to be seen. And then also, Salesforce has announced that in the next release of Salesforce, which will be summer 22, I believe will be when they have Migrate to Flow also support the migration of process builders over into flows as well. So I'm going to pause here, create a workflow rule that doesn't have cross-object references. I'll do a couple on the opportunity. We'll see what happens whenever we migrate those to flows, if they combine that into one flow or if it creates two flows for the object. So another thing of note is whenever you go to create a new workflow rule now, it's trying to encourage you to go into Flow Builder instead, but you still have the option right now at least to continue with workflow rules instead. And so as I mentioned, I'm going to create a couple of workflow rules on the opportunity object, and then we'll test out the process of converting them to flows and see if it makes one or two. And so this first workflow rule, I'm just going to call it WFR1. And so for this workflow rule, I'm going to have it be pretty simple criteria. Just if the close date is not equal to today, then save and next for the actions. And I may throw in a few different actions here, either immediate or time-based. So I'll create a new task. And so I've just filled in the different fields on this particular task. It's assigned to myself with the subject. Due date is the close date, say -1 day. So the day before the close date on the opportunity, that will be the due date on the new task that's immediately created whenever this workflow rule is triggered. And so now I'm going to select save and new to create another workflow action for this workflow rule. Or actually, I'll cancel out of there. I don't want to make a new task. But going back to my workflow rule, I've got my WFR1. It's not active yet. I'm going to go ahead and add another workflow action, just to add a little more complexity to it. Let's do a new field update, and I will update the description. And for that new field value, I'll just put some text inside of quotes here. And what this action will do is it'll put the word text inside the description field on the opportunity. I'm going to click save. And so I've got a workflow rule now with a couple of immediate actions. And let me do one time-based. 30 days after the rule trigger date. And for that time-based action, I will add a workflow action of sending an email alert. I'm just going to send some random email, and I'm just going to select a template. I'll send this to myself as a recipient and click save. And so now I've got two immediate and one time-based action for this workflow rule. I'll click done on this one. I'll click activate. So now if I go back to workflow rules, you'll see that I've got, get rid of this, click continue. You see I've got 3 workflow rules, 2 active on opportunity. And so I'm going to go ahead and create one more workflow rule for the opportunity object. And for this, I'm going to have a different evaluation criteria where this will be performed only or evaluated only when a record is created. The other one I had created, and anytime it's edited to subsequently meet criteria. And for this criteria to be met, I'm going to have criteria when lead source equals web. Save what I have so far for that. And now to create the actions, I'm just going to do one action for sake of time. I'll do a field update. And to make this kind of complex, I may make that field update also change the description field and see how this conversion tool will handle that going to a flow. And instead of using a formula here, I will have it be whenever this particular workflow rule is fired, it will clear out whatever's in the description field on the opportunity. So I'm going to click save and then activate this workflow rule. So there's kind of some conflicting updates here between those two workflow rules on the same field there. So we'll see if the flow does some branching or if it creates two flows on the object, go from there. All right, so I'm going to activate this. And so now we go back to process automation and find our migrate to flow menu item here in beta. You see now we have WFR 1 and 2. So I'm going to try and migrate to flow for the first workflow rule. Is a little more complex in nature, had several different actions, and we're about 1,000 so far. We can't migrate this workflow rule because its criteria uses the today function. Migrate to flow doesn't support this function. Got it. Okay, let's see if it supports other things or if this works or not. So migrate to flow. This one might do something. Okay, your flow was successfully created. And here is the resulting flow that was created. It just pulls in the name from the workflow rule. It is set to an inactive status. You can test it in Flow Builder, and you can switch your workflow rule and flow activations, meaning to deactivate your workflow rule and activate your flow. And click this to do that. And then there's also a note here that since this only performs field updates, they converted it to a before save flow for optimal performance. And a before save flow quickly updates fields on the record that triggers the flow. So there's a lot of different flows that can be created. And so it's explaining why it did this one as a before save flow, okay? And also there's a note that this conversion changes the order in which this automation is executed. To have this flow run after other related automation, changed it to an after save flow. For both before save and after save flows, we recommend that you perform end-to-end testing for all scenarios in which the automation is triggered. So I'm going to go ahead and switch activations to make my flow active and deactivate the workflow rule so that we don't have two automation solutions doing the same thing. And so now the workflow rule has been deactivated, flow has been activated. And so now I'm going to view this particular auto-created flow for me in the flow builder. And so this will be one of the easier, more straightforward flows that you'll ever run across. It has the start here, and here you can see the flow trigger explorer to give more details on what's happening here at the start. Let me go back here and go back into my workflow rule and notice that this is auto launch flow. And so then here would be the update records. And here's that description field with the null value there. Let me cancel out of this, and then the flow ends. So I'd say that this migrate to flow feature is still very much a work in progress. That's why it's in beta status. And so what I think I'll do now is I'll go into this workflow rule number 1 and change the criteria because it didn't support today. Instead, let me just do something different. I'm going to evaluate against the description field, and as long as description does not contain an asterisk, just to have something very specific and see. It probably won't support that either, but I'm going to try. So I'm going to change that workflow rule criteria, and then we'll go back into the migrate to flow screen and try and migrate workflow rule number 1. And so once again, it can't migrate this workflow rule because it has a field update that uses the long text area data type. Migrate to flow doesn't support this configuration. So perhaps there is a list somewhere out there for supported operations and what this tool doesn't support. But let me go back in once again to this workflow rule and try to make it easier. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to remove the field update on description, because I think that's the long text area that it was complaining about there, and then done, and it's still active. I'll go back into migrate to flow, try once again for workflow rule 1. And even though I removed that action, it's still thinking that there is a field update for the long text area data type. But going in there, I've confirmed to myself that I don't have a field update any longer. So that appears to be a bug as well. This tool is still in beta. I'm sure there will be further improvements made to the migrate to flow endeavor. I do have some doubts of Salesforce actually being able to retire workflow rules and process builders within such a short window of the next year or so. If the migrate to flow tool does eventually work as hoped for, It would be nice if they would allow users to continue to create workflow rules and processes and then just use this tool to convert those to flows. I have a lot of questions around how they're going to handle merging multiple workflow rules on an object into a single flow, or if they're going to do something that is considered not best practice, which would to have multiple flows on an object. It remains to be seen how this will be handled, but as you can see from this quick demo, there's a lot that's not supported yet. And so I look forward to hearing more, learning more about the migrate to flow functionality coming from Salesforce. And don't abandon your workflow rules and your processes quite yet. And also know that many of these workflow rules that you have out there, legacy in your system, will probably have to be manually recreated rather than relying on this particular tool, at least at the time of this recording. So if you found this Salesforce tutorial helpful, please do like and subscribe. Leave a comment below for what you'd like to learn in Salesforce. I might just make it my next video. Until then, I'll see you in the cloud.